On this morning, good day, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is in your neck of the woods. It's great to see everyone. Now, give me just a second. Hello, Cassius. Hello, everyone. Brianna, Pitbull. 984 is in the house. Wow, a lot of people here already. Wow, that's good. Oh, better keep my phone down. Well, you always get messages and stuff right when you first go live. All right. Of course, it's my daughter always messaging me. How is everyone today? Um, just want to talk about a few things. Is Last night I felt really defeated. I really did, just to be honest with you guys. And I thought about taking a few days off and things like that. And then I got up today with the Hogan Outlook. Every day's a new day. And if I took a few days off, then I wouldn't be really, doing to you guys what I preach every day. So I'm back and feel a lot better. Things went a little weird last night, but everything's okay. Just to update everyone, the girl who was needing help with her electric bill did get paid. I sent her the money via PayPal this morning, and she received it, and it is taken care of. I have the receipts of showing the transfer if anybody needs to see it. I don't want to create any confusion or anything like that. So it is taken care of. Um, let's see. One other thing going forward, I've decided to do is in the future, if someone emails me needing help like that, I'm actually going to assign someone. It'll be a volunteer job. And if you're interested, don't message me right now, please, right in the middle of the live. But if you are interested in what I'm going to talk about, please email me and let me know why you would be interested. It is a non-paid position. It's volunteer. Um, in the future, if the channel takes off, it could be a paid position, but that'll be something we speak about in the future. But what I want to do is have someone who takes in all the emails that if people are asking for help financially, that we could have a certain person that reviews the emails and checks the background of the story, and then checks for resources locally in the area, and then we can go from there instead of what happened last night. So we'll just have to play it as we go. But going forward, things will be a little bit different. Um, so if anyone's interested in doing that, just shoot me an email at brianmoxley@gmail.com, and just tell me why you would want to do it. Just a few things about yourself, because we would really need somebody who can go in and check the story, make sure the story is legit, check for resources locally in the area, and then we'll go from there and make a decision if it's something we would be able to help someone with. So has anybody got any comments about that? Or what do you think about that, guys? Well, just so you know, if you are interested in that, send an email to ronmoxley@gmail.com, and we'll talk about it in email, um, and we can go from there. If it, sounds like something you'll do, um, we can exchange numbers and we can talk by either text or by phone call. Um, yeah. And one thing probably going forward, guys, is there was a lot of chaos in the chat last night. If I bring something up that like last night, there was a lot of people that was upset about it. One in particular. Um, just one second, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to help my daughter for a second. Um, well, here's the thing about it, guys. Um, I when this lady came to me with her email, I thought about must have really built this channel into something special for the fact um, that somebody we don't even know would reach out and ask for help, because I know with me it's embarrassing to sometimes reach out for help. And well, Lisa, that's my whole point about scammers and stuff, is having someone that would check the background of the story, check the resources in the area, and things like that um, before we would ask for anything like a donation or anything like that. Um, that's what I'm saying. We will check the story very thoroughly, um, in depth, check the resources that are available in that person's area, such as churches, Salvation Army, because we can help in other ways besides just donating money. We can make calls for people. A lot of people might not be aware that you can make calls and talk to people and check with different areas in their hometown. They just might not be aware of that. So and going forward, if you don't want to donate or something like that, there's no need to um, you know cause a chaos in the room. Um, just if you don't wish to donate, just don't donate. But don't create a big chaos in the chat, because the onlookers see that, and there were so many messages flying around that the channel exploded and it blew apart on us, and things like that. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. But what defeated me last night, guys, is the fact that I feel like we had built the channel up into something that someone would come to us for. They feel like we're the people they could reach out to, and then they were in the room and seen how everything imploded, and that was not good. It because there was even people at the end of the chat saying, "See, this is nothing but a drama channel," different things like that, and it just went all to hell in a handbasket. So, uh, if we can help people, we will. It doesn't always have to be a financial help. Uh, perhaps we could make calls for people. People don't know that they can call people. They might not know of certain, like Dawn, she has access to several resources for people in certain areas. Um, Other than just, but the moral of the story is this lady's rent. Yeah, her electric bill is paid. It was quite high of a bill. She had 3 or 4 kids. I can't remember. It was 3 or 4. And I did pass her email on to Dawn Brake, so she can be in touch with Dawn going forward in the future, possibly to get help that way. Nobody upset me, guys. It's just how there was just like chaos in the chat last night at the end of it. One group of people saying this and another group of people saying that, and we've obviously built a reputation that thank you, that people can come to us and they feel comfortable enough to come to us for help. I believe I approached it in the wrong way. The fact that I ask for donations to pay it when we probably could have handled it a different way, maybe with resources or something. Well, anyway, with that being said, we will do things a little bit different going forward. That way, that's not just a total chaos, and we're a little organized going forward. And then one guy seen last night said I was a chain smoker, so in honor of him, I will smoke a cigarette. And Lisa says, true, I'm a single mom with 3 kids, and Xmas is making me ill with worry that I'm going to get kids what they want. But suppose there's people with money that can help people. Nice to be nice, I suppose. And that's the thing, guys, is I know there's a lot of people that aren't able to help, and that's okay. If you can't, you can't. Money's tight around here. I know I live paycheck to paycheck, and I was still wanted to donate $20 to help this lady because it sounds to me like she has it a little bit worse than I do, and if I can help, I will. Now, like I said, we'll do things different going forward, and that way it won't turn into what it did last night. People were just worried that there was left hands that could show up when the right hands are helped. People may have feared you're so kind you would only see the right hand, so they got nervous. And I do understand that, Don. I really do. I mean, I just felt, I guess, I just felt kind of defeated last night. I felt like, well, maybe I need to take a few days off, and but I love this. I love coming on every day. I really do, and that's just the God's honest truth. So if I stopped doing it, then I would stop doing something I really enjoyed, and why would I do that? Like I said, there's other ways to help people. We can find resources for them. We can find churches in their area. There might be resources in their area that they're not aware of that somebody that's more familiar with this situation, they could handle that part of it. So, thank you guys for listening to that part of it. I did have an update on the Utah murder where the guy was found in the freezer. You remember that story from Utah? The Mathers, the guy's last name was Mathers. Yeah, Sally, that's a good point. Before I move on, what Sally said there's true. Even though Braun's a YouTube superstar now, I like that. He's still got his trainer wheels on. Be kind. It's all new to him. And that's really the God's honest truth, guys. A lot of this stuff is new to me. And I might do some things wrong. And it's just like a child. When your child's growing up, If the child makes a mistake, you don't beat the child. You help the child. You teach the child correctly. So if I do something wrong, not necessarily during the live, but send me a message and say, wouldn't it be better if you handled it this way? Because I might do the absolute worst thing right from the get go. And I definitely would not want to do that, because the last thing I want to do is hurt anyone. I actually want to help people. And I just feel like last night I hurt a lot more people than I helped. And that was really made me feel down last night. But I love this, guys. I really do. And I love the fact that you guys are here every day. So please, if I'm not doing something right, we can all help each other. I mean, I consider this our channel, not really my channel. I'm just kind of the idiot that gets in front of the crowd and speaks. Um, you know what I mean? So basically, there are people near Lisa that could donate toys. Yeah, guys, there's all kinds of stuff we can do. I'm sure there's people that have raised kids like me. I'm going to go through my garage and see if there's any toys. I probably have nice toys that kids could be enjoying just sitting out there in my garage, that I could take these toys to some kids that could really use them, instead of them sitting in my garage not doing any good for anyone. So let's just, going forward, guys. It was a rough night. Let's learn from it, and let's just move forward, because there's no real reason to go backwards, is there? Not in my opinion. So let's go forward. We've got this. We'll handle it. We're not a channel of drama. We are in control. We will have order, and we will help people. And I'll just be blunt. If you're here and you don't like helping people, then you might be on the wrong channel. Um, and I'm just a blunt person that speaks the truth. Uh, some people have channels where they want you to donate to them. It's me, me, me. I need $500 aftershave, so donate to me. Well, instead of buying $500 aftershave, we paid someone's electric bill last night, guys. Think about that for a minute. Someone today's electric bill is paid because we got together out of generosity and made that happen. Now, there's 3 kids today, and I know everybody says in the wintertime, if there's children involved, it's against the law to shut off the electricity. I'm sure there's local ordinances everywhere. That might be true where you live, but it might not be true where someone lives. So think about that for a minute. I notice in this day and time, we are so quick to rush to judgment. And why? When we could sit back and think about it for a few minutes. And if you make a rush to judgment, you're going to make a bad decision. And I think I made a bad decision last night. And I admit to that. And I'm moving forward and learning from it. So we will move forward. And but people was asking about the guy in the freezer. About 3 weeks ago, I think it was, I reported on a true crime story of where they did a welfare check on an elderly lady, and when they got there, they found her dead on the bed. She was 75 years old, and they think she died of natural causes. Well, while they were searching the rest of the house, they found her husband in the deep freeze. They was waiting for the medical examiner's report to come back on this case to find out, the cause of death. They still have not determined the cause of death, but they believe he was in the freezer for possibly 10 years. Now, this is in Utah. The last name of the couple is Mathers. They were both elderly. Now, they think possibly, but they do suspect foul play on him. They didn't say why they suspect foul play on him. They just said that they suspected foul play on him. The guy in the freezer, the elderly man. The elderly lady that they was there to do the welfare check on, she was dead of natural causes. So they think that this Utah man, the elderly man, was in the freezer for 10 years. Now they're thinking possibly the reason being is because maybe she kept drawing his Social Security check. That's they're checking in to see if his Social Security check was still sent out each month, how long it had been still being received. Possibly the case, but anyway, they consider his death foul play, and he was in the freezer for approximately 10 years. So my question is how do you go 10 years and someone, if like you're married and say your name's Jim and Lisa, just for an example, wouldn't somebody eventually say, "Hey, Lisa, haven't seen Jim around in a while. Where's he been?" You know what I mean? I mean, just did they not have any other family? And it could be a possibility. There's a lot of elderly people that don't have family, or the family doesn't come to visit them anymore. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, Andrea. How did nobody miss this guy? But for 10 years, nobody missed him. But someone missed the woman because they called the police to go do a welfare check on her. That's why the police was there in the first place. They went to do a welfare check on her and found her dead of natural causes on the bed. Searching the rest of the house, they found him dead in the freezer. They think his death was foul play. So Trish says, I'm going to get nervous if my husband gets me a freezer for Xmas. Yeah. It just blows my mind that nobody missed this guy. Where's Jim at? And, he's in the deep freeze. I mean, I don't get it. So somebody missed her, but nobody missed him. And maybe she just told everybody, think about it. They're elderly. If somebody's like, "Hey, Lisa, I haven't seen Jim in a while." Well, he's in the hospital. He's not feeling well. And, every time there was he's not feeling well. He's laying down today. Well, can I go in and see him? Well, he's really sick. He's got a fever. It's probably not good you being around him. You know what I mean? So, but for 10 years, that's a long damn time to put somebody off like that. But it is the truth. A funny story, you guys. You say you don't like my stories. Well, I got a story here for you. There was one time I was in the emergency room, and I can't even remember why I was in the emergency room, but I was in the emergency room. And I don't know if you guys remember it, if it was this way ever where you're local at, but this hospital I was at, in the emergency room, it was just a wide open area, and to separate the beds where everybody was had curtains, and they would just pull the curtain on you, and you could hear the people next to you talking. And I was laying there on the bed, and like I said, I can't even remember why I was there but I can remember the other part of the story. Believe me, it was an elderly couple. The man was laying on the bed. He was the one there to be seen, and his elderly wife was there with him. And I can hear her calling everyone on the phone. I mean, she's calling person after person after person, and she's like, "Hey, I need you to pray for Herb. We're out here at the hospital." And of course, I couldn't hear the other end of the conversation, but I can hear her. And believe me, she called 10 people and done this. "Yeah, I need you to pray for him. He's in here for rectal bleeding." I swear to God, people, she told everybody that story, like 10 different people. And now you got to imagine how Herb felt laying there on the bed with rectal bleeding, that his wife is calling everyone, telling him about his rectal bleeding. So I just thought that was a kind of a funny story, but it reminded me of the story I was going over in crime about the dead body in the freezer in Utah. And Jesse, I got your message, and we will talk after my live if you don't care. And I know exactly what you're saying with the email. This is something totally different. So I will talk to you after this live about that. Just so you know. So don't be confused. Nothing's changed about what we've talked about. This is something totally different. Because basically, I don't want to overwhelm you, Jesse. You do so much already. And I just don't want to get you overwhelmed because this is something extra. And then Jesse, Vicky, Mel, Sweet Pea, Sarah, and I keep thinking I'm forgetting somebody. I don't know, but they're just fantastic. I wouldn't trade them for any mods in the world. They have been so good to me. They look out for me. They message me and tell me, "Hey, you need to do this because if you do this, it could end up like this." So believe me, they've been a blessing to me, and I love them like family. I really do. Um, Another thing, just to let you know, I did not get my PO box today. I slept in late. The post office here in my town is only open a half a day on Saturdays, and just to be honest with you, I laid in bed till 11 o'clock, and that's just the God's honest truth. So by the time I got up and got going, the post office was already closed. There is going to be a day coming up soon. I don't know what day it is, but they're going to put a new catalytic converter on my car, and I'm going to have to take either a half day off work or a whole day. But whatever the situation is on that day, I will get my post office box that day when I get my catalytic converter fixed. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, I have a job interview on January 10th. I'm not going to say where because the lurkers would probably call and say, "Don't hire this guy. He's a YouTube nut." Um, but anyway, pray for me on January 10th. I have a job interview that could literally change my life in more ways than one. Financially, mainly. Better hours. I'd be working 6 in the morning till 2:45. I would be getting off real early in the day, so I could come on earlier for the people in the UK that like to watch my little YouTube show here. And then I could, go to. I like going to bed early, so it would be good all the way around. So just pray for me on January 10th, please. It's a big day for me, and really. Now, also tonight, I will be back for a live tonight. Now, I know I've told you guys stories about my wife being in the hospital and how she left this, that, and the other. Well, just to be honest with you guys, I've been married twice. That was my second wife. Me and her, we don't have any kids together. My first wife, the one that I have my two kids with, she is now a social worker, and she has her master's degree. And just for legal, ethical, moral reasons, I don't know what it is. She does not want me to mention the title she holds or where she works or anything like that. But she is interested in coming on tonight in like an interview situation and talk about depression, anxiety, substance abuse, anything like that. If you're interested in hearing her tonight, I can bring her on. She has a master's degree and she's held several jobs in that field and has a lot of experience with it. She's wanting to come on, and because guys, we go over things like that: anxiety, depression, substance abuse, panic disorder, all those things that affect a lot of us in this on this channel, including me. I've been very open with you guys about the panic disorder I suffered when I was in my teens, when I could barely leave my house. From my substance abuse problems from 10 years ago when I got hooked on opiates. I'm very open and upfront with you guys about everything. And if you guys ever need help, like talking to me or anything like that, please feel free to reach out. I do get a lot of messages, but I try to answer every one of them. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with them, and I do try. I read every one of them, so don't think I don't read your message. I read it. Sometimes I might not reply. If it's a situation where you're just telling me something, just so you know that. Yes, we can, Lisa. So anyway, my first ex-wife, my kid's mother, and the reason I was going to bring her on and not tell you guys that we are ex-wife and ex-husband. And the reason I was not going to tell you that was because I thought it would be more appropriate if it was in the professional setting. And she brought up the point how well me and her co-parent together, because we really do co-parent together really well. She listens to me, I listen to her. If I need to do something, we always talk. If she needs to do something, we always talk. So we have a really good relationship, better than it was when we were married, as far as taking care of the children and co-parenting and making the right decisions for them, different things like that. Now, with my daughter, just to let you guys know, at the time of my substance abuse issues, she was around 3 years old. And she was one of the main reasons I decided to do recovery and get clean, because I knew that if I kept my life on the path that I was on at this time, that I would not be a good father to her. So she is one of the reasons I'm clean to this day. I've been clean for February of 2011, so almost 9 years. So, and I'm proud of that. And if anybody's new in recovery and needs someone to talk to, if you're a month clean and you're thinking about using, don't. Is you, I know your body is telling you, "Oh God, if I just had that one, I would feel so much better." Believe me, guys, that one is always two. The two is always three. Believe me, this whole room I'm in could be filled with drugs, and it would not be enough. Oh no, I don't drink. I don't drink at all. Good man. The bottles I drink in the green, that's a soft drink. And my issues with substance abuse wasn't with alcohol. I've never had a problem with alcohol. I can drink one beer and not drink one for 6 years. So my issue was with opiates. I hurt my back. I was working in a manufacturing plant uh, for 10 years, and I hurt my back. Um, I worked on a machine that cut metal, and it was basically big pieces of metal, anywhere from 8 gauge metal to 18 gauge metal. So anyone that knows 8 gauge metal, the smaller the number, the thicker the metal. And we would always pull it on by hand. And we had a machine that had suction cups and would pull the metal on for you. But why would we use that when we could pull it on so much easier by hand, right? Oh, it's because it'll freaking tear your back out when you do that. Well, anyway, that's what I did. Um, Ron Moxley, oh, good for you. Alcohol is a drug. Hold on. It's not the substance. Addicted is a disease thinking problem. Yeah, and like I said, I've never had a problem with alcohol. I can drink a beer, but I don't. Don't get me wrong, I don't drink. But I've never had a problem with alcohol in the past. In the past, I've been able to drink. I could drink one night, not drink again for 2 months when I was younger. My problem was when I was pulling this metal up on this machine, I was destroying my back. And I went to a doctor, and he prescribed me pain pills. And every month he was writing me a prescription of pain pills. I would go in, how you doing? Good. Here's your prescription. It was like that every month. So at the time I was just like, okay, I would take it, because they did. They make me feel good. They made me work harder. I felt like $1 million on them. Well, the problem is, guys, is when you take one pill today, in 2 months you're going to need 2 pills a day. In 6 months you're going to need 3 pills a day. You build a tolerance. You always need more. So that's where the problem lies. Now, being that said, that's what I done. I was doubling up on my dosages and things like that, and different things and so forth. And so anyway, I decided to. I was buying them off the street. Um, and one day, I wasn't buying nothing very big. I was buying like I don't know if you guys are familiar with like lower tab 7.5s, things like that. That's what I was buying off the streets. Well, anyway, one day I went to my friend that I always bought some from to get some, and he's like, man, I ain't got any of those today. He said, but I got something that you'll really like. And I was like, well, what is it? And he's like, oh, it's a Percocet 30 milligrams. And I was like, 30 milligrams? Damn, that would kill me. And he's like, no, 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 just try it. Just try it, You know the way it goes. Well, anyways, well, you might not know. I don't know. If you do know, you know what I'm talking about. So I go home and I thought, 30 milligrams, I better break this down. So I broke it in half. And it was funny because the higher the milligram, the smaller the pill. It was really weird. And I did half that 30 milligram, which would have been 15 milligrams. Didn't really feel nothing. I thought, well, hell, this ain't nothing. This is just something fake. So I did the other half. And man, I was the highest I'd ever been in my life. And I loved it. Because you don't think about the consequences when you're first starting out. There is no consequences when you first start out. And so what I done was I was like, well, I like them so much, I'm gonna get some more of them. Well, guess what, guys? Those are $30 a pill. It was pretty much $1 a milligram. So I started, and at the time I had a good job. I had money saved back. It wasn't a big deal. I could go buy a few, and nobody would ever notice it. And so that's what I was doing. It didn't take long before the bank account was empty, and I started selling stuff. Then I sold everything, and then I had a problem. And then I had to admit I had a problem. And I still remember it. It was Super Bowl Sunday, 2011. I went to rehab. I stayed in rehab for 6 months. I was in there for 6 months. I didn't work. They took care of everything for me. I lived there and I worked there, so I worked for what I got, but they took care of my stuff while I was in there. So that's my story about substance abuse, and I've been clean since. One of the reasons I wanted to get clean was for my daughter. Of course, my son too, but my daughter was really young. Yeah, and hold on, Pam. Let me say this: I am not knocking pain medication whatsoever. I do know there is some people that need it. Some people can't function without it, and they take it like it's prescribed. And that's not the issue. The issue with me is yeah, I might have needed those pills that first month, but did I need them that second month and that third month that doctor kept writing them for me? Did I need that? I don't know. Probably not. I probably needed them for the first month and then start using that machine that put the metal on the laser to cut it correctly and not use my back. So that's what I want to talk about. Not today. But what brought that up is my ex-wife is the mother of my 2 kids. She has a master's degree in this field, social work, where they treat depression, anxiety, substance abuse, different things like that. And she's actually starting a YouTube channel. She's actually very new to this. She actually seen what I was doing with my YouTube channel, and she got interested. She figures there's a audience that would like to watch her. So what she's going to do is she's going to come on my live if you guys want her to. It's completely up to you guys. This is our channel, right? So she wants to come on and talk, and she can take questions. She's a talker, so I don't know how many words I'll get in. So how hard was it to get clean, Ron? It's hard, Pitbull. It really is. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's easy. There's days where you think, wow. Here's I was in a like NAAA meetings. We had to go to those when I was in rehab, and they wouldn't have audience in there a lot of times that were not anything to do with substance abuse. They was just interested in the subject. And they would come in and observe the class. And somebody asked me one time, they said, why do you need that so bad for? Is it that great? And my answer to them was, and this was my answer, I came up with it. I said, and this is after you've been on that for a long time, is it's not what you need it for, it's what you need it to stop. Because once you've got to this point, if you don't have it, you're in agony. Physical, mental agony. What Rain Dancer says here is 100% the truth. I want to make sure we get some of your comments up here. My ex and my son are addicts. I'm on meds for 23 years due to a car accident. Husband driving while high. I lost my first 2 children, and it crippled me. Well, how are you doing now, Layla? And where I've been talking, I haven't been keeping up with the chat, guys, so forgive me. What drives addiction in the first place is childhood experiences and how nurture shaped your brain growing up through the experience. Hence, mental illness can stem from childhood experience. I'll agree with that. Trying to go back and read messages to try to keep up with the chat, guys. Do I classify marijuana as a drug? I don't. I think a drug is something that is made in the manufacturing plant. If there are any Daniel Bishop fans in this chat, he posted a video today. He's a trooper, happy he came out of this okay. Yes, Daniel was in a dark place for a while, guys. My brother was prescribed oxys for his cancer pain. He got up to a very high dose that he eventually wasn't doing much. I remember he tried to go cold turkey and it was hell for him. Yeah, it really is. Guys, I've been through it. No, stopped up again today, guys. Smash that like button. This is what I like about this channel is the fact that we can all have different opinions, and there's no people getting thrown off, banned, anything like that, just because your opinion is different from the person beside you. With this many people in the world, guys, we're going to have difference of opinions. Some people is going to say it's an addiction is a disease, and some people will say addiction is a choice. Now, your opinion is your opinion of it, and you have the right to your opinion of it. And that's what I like about this channel is the fact that you can come in here with your opinion and express your opinion without having to worry about ridicule and things like that from the creator. Um, and you guys are having a healthy debate back and forth in the chat. That's good. Um, always go into everything with an open mind, in my opinion, because you might go into a conversation with someone and think you have it, your mind is set to view it one way, and you might come out of that conversation thinking, damn, I was wrong. I was way off on that. Oh, what happened there, Tamer? Did someone who abused you run for office or something? Actually, I have something to take, Pamela. I've got some over here. I just haven't taken it today. It's probably when I'm stopped up. Like I said, I slept in late. I didn't get up out of the bed till after 11 o'clock, and that's a long time of sleep for me. That's a long time of sleep for me to 11 o'clock. So, oh, Rhonda, it's okay. You can mention other channels here. I don't mind. We all know there's other channels out there. I mean, I don't see why that's such a big deal in other chats for. It's not like I'm the only channel on YouTube. You know what I mean, right? Oh, okay. Thank you, Rock Bottom. Appreciate that. You're welcome, Mama. Is there anything you would like to talk about with addiction, Mama? That's weird to say, Mama. Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama. Here's Elvis, baby. Here's the king. I'm so thankful we are talking about addiction. Thank you, Mops, and everyone sharing. God bless you all. And the main reason I brought up the addiction part of my life, and this was in my lifetime. Now, guys, this is just me. Um, I'm listening to you, Pamela. That's what I had. I had decongestants. That's what I took. Um, I think Ron is a great guy. So bad. The reason I brought up my substance abuse issues is because my ex-wife, the mother of my kids, she wants to come on and talk tonight in an interview style, and she has an extensive background, a master's degree, everything like that. She doesn't want me to mention her title or the place she works or anything like that, for obvious reasons. Now, another thing I want to add to my story, guys, is my addiction only lasted 3 years, roughly 3 years, maybe a little bit less. But anyway, it was long enough. The hell was long enough, that's for sure. But the reason I want to bring that back up is I was in rehab with a lot of young kids. I was in my early 30, 31ish. So the thing with me is I dealt with it for probably about 3 years, and I did it in my 30s. And I found out statistically, someone starting a opiate addiction at 30 years old is rather rare. Most people it starts earlier with. Now, the thing that bothered me bad is when I was in rehab, I was in there with a lot of young, I call them kids, young kids, like they were 18, 19 years old, and that's all they had ever known. They had been hooked on drugs since they were like 12 or 13 years old. Now, my issue is 3 years at 30. So I knew what life was like before addiction. You see what I'm saying? So I knew what life could be like. I had it good before addiction, and I knew I could get back to that. But when I'm in rehab, I'm seeing these kids that are 18, 19 years old, and they've been hooked on painkillers since they were 12 or Xanaxes since they were 12 or 13. And that's the only life they know. They don't know what life could be like without that stuff. And it just blows my mind how they're so young and they don't know the other side of the life, how it can be. Good question here, guys. Braun, before you went to rehab, did your friends and family know you were struggling? Very good question. I kept it really well hidden for a long time. A long time. Um, I was a functioning addict, is what I call it. What it's labeled. Now, for the longest time, I could sustain it because I was at a level that nobody was ever going to miss it, the money, or notice what I was doing. So for a long time, no one knew. Now, once they realized I was going to work every day and I didn't have a dime to my name, and I had to sell something just to have money for the week when I had worked all week, that's when people started saying, "Hey, what's wrong here? Something's not adding up. What's not right here?" So in the end, towards the end before rehab, yes, they knew. They did. And to address Pamela, I'm not making a blanket statement that pain pills are bad in every situation. Don't think that that's what I'm saying. I'm simply giving you my story of what happened to me. Um, if you need them and you take them as prescribed, then there is nothing wrong with that. My story is I didn't take them as prescribed and got physically and mentally hooked on them. That's my personal story. And that's what I'm so disclaimer, this is my story and what happened to me. I can't speak for but if my story can help somebody else change their story, then me telling my story is worth it. So and another thing I would like to mention, I told you all guys about having my tonsils out about 3 years ago. When I had my tonsils out, God, it was painful. It was very painful. And then the doctor said, "I'm going to write you a prescription for Percocet." And I said, "No, don't even write it. I don't want it." And he said, "No, you're going to have to take it for the first 48 hours or whatever it was." And I said, "No, I don't give a shit if it kills me. Don't write me that prescription." Um, are you okay, Tamara? I'm not trying to upset you. I swear I'm not. Um, I'm just simply trying to put my story out there and maybe help somebody. But the doctor said that, and I said, "No, don't write it. It's just I won't use it." So you would not believe the pain I went through getting my tonsils out, not taking a pain prescription medication. And I went to Walmart and I bought a bottle of liquid Tylenol, and that's what I took to um, get off of it. No, Don, I went through cold turkey. I went through a rehab that they had a detox where you just basically laid in the bed until your symptoms were gone. And let me say this too, Don. I am so glad that I did do it cold turkey. And the reason I'm glad for that is because I know I never want to go through that again. And that remembrance of going cold turkey is what makes me say, I'm never touching that shit again because I don't know what the hell it done to me once before. So, and please, guys, don't take this as a blanket statement for everything. This is just my story. Okay, Tamara. Right. No, you do if you do it through YouTube, Rock Bottom. There is apps that you can use. I notice you do your recording on your phone, don't you? Well, just I was going to give you a tip, and I forgot about it till just now. When you're recording, turn your phone sideways, and that will make when you show your video, your screen will be full screen and not just a little up and down in the middle. So that's one piece of advice for you. If you want to go live on your phone, download an app called Streamlabs. That's what I used on my phone. Now, if you're using a computer and a webcam like I use now, you want to go to the website StreamYard.com. You're very welcome. I'd help anybody rock, and the reason being is because when I first started, I did not know any of this stuff, and I'm learning. As you guys can see, I'm still learning every day. Uh, if ignorance is bliss, says, it makes me so sad everyone is suffering or has suffered, but it makes you stronger and you gain wisdom. So look at the positives and keep strong. Very true. Very true. Yeah, but when you're recording, turn your phone sideways. That way you can you'll have a full screen on your video. I was going to tell you that and I forgot, and I'm glad you just said something to me about that because it reminded me to tell you that. You talking about the Streamlabs app? You're very, very welcome, Rock Bottom. Yep, I use StreamYard on my laptop, and I use Streamlabs on my iPhone. And going back to earlier, what I was talking about earlier, a person that will handle like the email if someone messages in and they're needing help with a bill or with rent or something like that. What I will do is if someone takes on that responsibility, and this is something different from what me and Jesse and Vicky and Mel's been talking about. This is a completely different email. This will have nothing to do with modding or anything like that. What I would do is if somebody emailed me and said, "Hey, I'm having trouble with this. Can you help me with this?" Blah blah blah. What I would do then is just simply um, forward that email to whoever takes on that responsibility, um, and then they could go from there with checking out the resources and stuff they could go to. Laney says, I just got the news that my daughter in law's father died this morning. He had cancer for a very short time. So sad. Dang, that is bad. I've been on exactly 1 hour right now. I have it till exactly to the second 1 hour when you said that. Thank you, JK TV Justice. Appreciate that. Glad you're on with us. Yeah, hugs and prayers to you, lady, for what you're going through. I know when you're in a live, it time flies. It really does. Rain Dancer says, I worked as a nurse in chemical dependency. It was very hard to take any pain meds aside from aspirin, Motrin. Yeah, and I'll tell you another thing too, guys, is when somebody is hooked on pain medication. Well, now this is what it was like for me. When you're hooked on pain medication, for me, if I had no tolerance for pain whatsoever, anything could help me or hurt me. For instance, if I stumped my toe, it would feel like I was dying. It would hurt that bad. I had no tolerance for pain whatsoever. If I smashed my finger, unbelievable pain. Um, so it's unreal. Laney says we shared 6 grandkids, and he's a lot younger than me. It's awful. That's terrible, Laney. I hope everything works out well for your family. Don Break says we also hand out clothes, blankets, and food live. Kensington, Pennsylvania is the largest open air market for heroin in the country. Dang.
If you need pillows, get some off my bed.
Julia.
Oh, sorry.
What?
You know the thing Zach did to me? We're gonna do it to Jessica.
Yep. I'm still, well, actually, Rhonda, I'm still deciding if I'm going to stay in my kitchen or somebody had a good idea last night in my live about where there's a bedroom above my garage is just opening up the ceiling in the garage and running off the vent that goes to the bedroom. I think you can vote. Good night, lady. Julia. Like and subscribe, people. Am I having a Christmas live? I probably, because I really don't, to be honest with you. Um, I just have like a small family, like just my two kids and my mom. And my mom usually goes to my brother's, and I usually don't go there. Not that we are not on good terms or anything. Um, I usually just don't, because they have like their family and the kids and stuff and things like that. So we just don't get together. So I probably, if you guys want me to do a Christmas live, I will. It's if you want that, I will do it. Y'all hear that? My nose whistled. Well, it's been an hour and 7 minutes, so I'll probably do an hour and a half, and then I will be back on tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time in the U.S. And I will have a guest on tonight, as long as it. We tried to do a practice run earlier, and for some reason she couldn't get her speakers working on her. She uses a little tablet, so the only way we won't have a guest tonight is if she can't get her tablet up and working correctly. She lives in an area that is like in the what we call the sticks. It's out in the middle of nowhere, and the only internet connection she can get out there is called Hughes. It's like the satellite internet, and it is really, really poorly internet. So if something happens where she can't come on, it'll be a reason like that. But if everything goes well, we will have a guest speaker tonight to go over mental health, things like that. She can take questions from the guests. So if you have, anything going on in your family or anything like that, and you would like to ask somebody that has a master's degree and actually has the I guess the advice uh, you would need. So just FYI. Well, Jan, she plugged the buds in and she could hear. But when she plugged the buds in, I couldn't hear her because I guess the little microphone on. She has a more expensive set of buds she thinks that she can use. Um, so we'll probably have it go on and up and running right. So we'll go from there. Hello, Mel. How are you today? Yeah, someone with credentials that can actually answer our questions tonight if we have any. I've got to open up this door. It is hot in here. Let some good, cool, fresh air into the house. Braun, I need to email you. I'm sorry. Could you tell me? It's braunmoxley@gmail.com. I can go, Ron, to look at the names, and I can look at the numbers. So both of them if I want to. I see the number on my homepage. I actually have to go in further to see the names of the subscribers. Welcome back, Dari. Yeah, I'm starting to sweat. It's hot in here. Yep, the sticks in Kentucky. All right, Layla. Good night. Sweet dreams. First snow of the year here today. Where are you at, Pitbull? You can see the sweat on my forehead. I'm getting to the age where I'm going through what I call womenopause. JKTV, I acknowledge everybody. You don't have to do Patreon for me to acknowledge you. FYI, like some channels. Oh, and by the way, according to the co-CEO of Ugle, Armchair Detective, he said that in 2 days, which today is the second day, there would be 6 channels that would lose monetization. And it doesn't look like I'm one of them. So I'm still here, guys. Hallelujah. Maybe. Depends on if you like me or hate me. Let me see. Do we have any We've got 3 dislikes. So there's a few of you that don't like me. But they still show up. That's all that matters. If you don't like me, as long as you show up. Is anyone here in California? Yeah, we might have made her mad, Dana. I don't know. Yorkshire, England, first snow. $86 watching. Hit that like button if you haven't hit it yet, please. If you don't mind. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here, Don. You can Google it, and it will tell you more than I can tell you about it in better detail than I can describe it to you. Have you heard of the longest yard sale in the United States, Don? That runs down Highway 27. Well, that comes through Kentucky, but that's only a certain few days a year. But that is considered a roadside attraction. Trying to think of what else we have. We have the Ark, Noah's Ark here that you can go and tour, which is really cool. It's huge. They said they built it to scale of what the Bible said it would be. I didn't know the Bible had dimensions and stuff in it, but somehow they knew the dimensions of it. No, the yard sale, that yard sale is a lot longer than 12 miles long. No shit, Pitbull, I forgot to film around Walmart, and I was there too. I was actually there right before I came on today because I actually thought I was going to be late. So maybe that's why I forgot, because I thought I was going to be late coming on today. Yeah, they say that yard sale runs. I'm not sure if it starts here in Kentucky. I'm not sure about that, but I know they say it runs all the way to Alabama through several states. Um, Avatillo, I wasn't going to film nothing in particular in Walmart. Someone just asked me if I would film Walmart as I walked around in there, so I was going to do that. That's why. No reason in particular. Trish B, not anything new, just the same news we had heard the other day. I haven't heard anything new on Sherilyn Cadle, or as AD says, Cadell, Sherilyn Cadell. Yeah, it's a long yard sale. It runs through several states. It's just up and down the highway yard sale set up everywhere. Hello, Oxford, UK. Hello, back from Kentucky. Yeah, could be Don. Yep. Well, certain WalMarts do, Ian. There's some WalMarts that won't let you do overnight parking. Some of them will, and some of them won't. Mostly the ones that won't have signs posted. I know the Walmart here in my town, they actually let truck drivers pull in and park their truck overnight and sleep there. You can also sleep in your car there or in a camper, like you were saying. I don't know if you guys checked out the channel Katie Carney. Katie spelled Katie, and Carney spelled Carney. She has a channel. She has a lot of subs and stuff like that. She lives. She doesn't. Well, she lives in her car, but she doesn't live there because she has to. She lives in it because she wants to. And I guess she makes enough money from YouTube with her views and stuff to afford her lifestyle, because she just drives around to different places and she'll sleep in Walmarts and different things like that. Um, she does have a part-time job of customer service that she does from home, but where she lives in her car, she just lays in the back seat of the morning. I think she works for like 3 hours, and she just answers emails as part of customer service, like a customer service representative. And it's a pretty cool channel. She talks really fast, and I mean, if you go watch her channel, you'll see what I mean. But I really do like her channel. Don't get me wrong. I'm not putting her down. I'm just saying she talks fast, and words come to her really quickly, and she's very smart. She's very pretty. Um, she always wears like a different pair of glasses, it seems like. But check out that channel. I think you guys will like it. Do you have any good Christmas lights near you? In Lexington, which is just one town away, Pitbull, they have what's called the Southern Lights. And it's a great big horse park, and the road is blacktop through it. But you drive through, and it's just several miles of lights put up in different arrangements and so forth. And then at the end of it, there's like a barn, and kids can go in, and there's like a petting zoo for the kids. There's different things set up, and it's inside a barn where it's on a horse farm. Uh, did you see Katie got an apartment? No, I did not see that. No, I don't. I don't have any decorations up. I I had a bad experience on Christmas last year, and I've just not really have gotten in the mood this year for it. So um, Christmas was real bad last year for me, and I just ain't got in the mood this year for it. I let my daughter put the house Christmas tree up in her room. She asked me if she could, and I told her she could. So our Christmas tree's up in my daughter's room. All right, JKTV Justice. Good to see you. Hope you come back, subscribe, and hit that like button. About 8 more minutes and I'm going to go, and then I will be back on tonight. And like I said, if all goes as planned, we will have a guest come on and speak and answer questions for you guys. If any of you all have any questions. The guest's name? She asked me not to say it because she's a director of a certain place, and um, just for reasons of trolls could attack or anything like that. She's going to have like a surname, so she won't use her real name. Mrs. Moxley? No, it's there is not a Mrs. Moxley. That's for sure. Yes, you can. Ignorance is bliss. Well, that's pretty cool, Katie. I've got an apartment. I'll have to go check that out. I actually haven't watched her channel here recently, even though I do really like her channel. After my live, I'll have to go check and see what she's doing. So, who here is being trolled or harassed by AD subs? Dari, let me tell you, I wake up every morning to numerous messages from subs on my beard's dirty. I haven't taken a bath in a year. It's just, and they call us the hate channel, and the comments they leave is unbelievable. You're not worried. Well, I mean, she asked to come on, and I told her she could, or it was kind of a mutual thing. She told me she had actually been paying attention a little bit to my YouTube channel, and we kind of discussed her situation and her role, and if she wanted to come on and stuff like that. So, speaking of Christmas lights, what about the movie? What was that with Chevy Chase in it? Y'all know what I'm talking about, where he's putting the lights up and they can't figure out the buttons off and the light switches off on the back porch. And his cousin Eddie shows up. Hello, cousin Eddie, in the mobile home. That was a funny damn movie. He sprays that damn Pam cooking spray on the bottom of that snow sled and goes down that hill like 1,000 miles an hour. Yeah, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's it. Oh man, that's a funny movie. Squirrel. Yep, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's it. Oh my god, that movie was so damn funny. I laughed my ass off watching that movie. Oh, that damn Chevy Chase and cousin Eddie, man, he's funny as hell in it too. He shows up in that mobile home and, hey, cousin Eddie, hey, I ain't got money for my kids as Christmas presents this year. Do you mind? Uh, Hi, Brian. Just found hold on a second. Hi, Brian. Just found a YouTube channel interviewing AD where he is drinking during the interview. Go to Raconteur News number 216. Let me write that down. Number 216. I'll definitely check that out. Maybe I can do a parody of it. Yeah, Bad Santa, that's a good movie too. Are you really Santa? Next thing you know, they're out in the car. Oh, Santa. Oh, good question, Lynn P. I seen the news of that, but I haven't really read any Reddit comments or anything yet on it. I'm sure it's interesting. I just know one thing. I'm just glad we got that damn idiot Bevan out of there. My God, what a freaking nut job he was. I couldn't believe he got arrested in the first place. I will send you a video of our Christmas lights. My husband programs that to music. They are really cool. Okay. I bet there's a lot of videos on YouTube about Christmas lights. I never even thought about looking something like that up. Jody LV, when Braun mentioned Xmas Lights Home Alone, came into my head. It's a long, lingering goodbye, guys. Braun, could you take us to see the lights one night, do a live from your car? Yeah, I could do that. I could stream it on Streamlabs. What I'll do is the night I'll do it, I'll just take a carload because what's funny is, I'll take my daughter and stuff, is and the unique thing about this, if anybody's close to Kentucky and they want to go to this, they charge them $15, but it's not $15 a person, it's $15 a carload. So take an SUV so you can get more people in to see the lights. In my opinion, bad decision on his part after seeing some of the inmates he gave pardons to. Yeah, you know that Bashir, his dad was the governor before Bevan got it, so father son governors. Well, Neil, just let you know too, there's been a couple of recent videos of his where he's actually drinking. Um, the night he found out some news about something, he come on and he was in I guess a bar or a hotel lobby, and he was drinking a beer. He talked about how the news he got was made him where he needed a beer, and I'm going to come on at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. And just to let you guys know, it's 3:30 now, so that'll be 4 hours from right now. But guys, I'm going to run. I'm sorry about last night. I was just really down after what went down, so I apologize. I'm back today. Today's a new day. We will move forward. And yeah, we're going to be all right. We got a good group here, good core group here, and I think we're going to be fine. We might adjust things here and there as we go. We'll live and learn, as they say. If things need to be adjusted, we'll adjust them. If they don't, we'll leave them where they are. So it's just how it is, I guess. Well, Pitbull, set your alarm and you can get up and watch the live. Hey, Braun, it's at the end of the video around the 147 mark. Okay, Neil, thank you. I'm definitely going to check that out. And I'm also going to check up on Katie Carney because she's got an apartment, I heard. I always thought, she actually almost inspired me. I'm not going to lie, guys. I have a Ford Explorer, and she's actually almost inspired me to live in your car because she made it. You could just go drive around on the country and just stay somewhere. And I mean, if you're sleeping in your car, you're really not going to need a whole lot of money. And so, I mean, I kind of like that idea, but I don't know. If I did do it, I would take you guys with me. That would be the cool thing. Um, yes, it's Katie Carney, Katie Carney, Carney. Katie Carney. Braun, have you ever thought about taking your parodies to the outside world? I don't know. When you say outside, I not in a way, no, because I don't think people in the outside world would understand the parody. People that's not familiar with him, they'd be like, "Well, what's this guy? Who's he supposed to be acting like?" But I would say that even people that didn't know him would probably think it was funny because of some of the way he acts. Just in my opinion, I don't know. What do I know, right? But it's 1:34, guys, so I'm going to run. I love you guys. It's a new day. We're moving forward. We've lived and learned, and I will talk to you guys tonight. If anyone has sent me an email, I will check it really quickly, and then we'll go from there. So you guys have a good afternoon. Love you guys, and I will see you tonight. Take care, guys. Bye.